Donald Trump Jr. weighed in on the globalists pushing communism across the world that is quite the concern among the right wing as of late. And I'm going to show this to you. A little incoherent as usual, a little frantic, but we'll try to decipher some meaning.
Guys, it's great when the lunatics finally out themselves. And one by one, these globalist world leaders are outing themselves to the public. Make no mistake, okay? At the World Economic Forum. These are the globalists. These are the people that want you eating bugs and eliminating meat and eliminating your ability to own anything independently, but you'll take care.
I will say, as someone who is on the left and a part of this global cabal, apparently, according to Donald Trump Jr., I definitely want everyone eating bugs. Bugs are my favorite.
You and you'll be really, really happy. They're pushing communism times 10. This is insanity, but we're letting them get away with it. I know, it sounds so out there. It's very, very out there, except when you look at what's actually going on, right? Everything that's talked about, the New World Order, it's another conspiracy theory, folks. Everything's a conspiracy theory until a few months later when it's proven to be 100% right. And why?
Give me the examples of the amount of times that's happened with you, Donald Trump Jr. We'll continue with this clip, but it does always tickle me whenever individuals like Donald Trump Jr. have to stop themselves to recognize to the audience that even they get that what they're saying sounds bonkers and have to go, oh, I know you're going to say it's a conspiracy theory. Yeah, I sound completely goofy, but it's true, I promise.
Why would we need a digital infrastructure with these new mRNA vaccines? They're going to mandate mRNA vax control your movements to, if you refuse to take them, are they going to shut you off? Honestly, is it that far-fetched right now? You know, it sounds, even a few years ago, if you said that, you'd be like, wow, that's crazy. Until you look at how they're behaving, what they're telling us we should consume, what they themselves do, and the hypocrisy, no more. We're not communist China, and we're not going to tolerate it. Enough is enough.
Okay. I really think about sometimes the phenomenon of, or I guess trying to put myself in the shoes of someone who turns on the guy they want to hear from, Donald Trump Jr., and is told about the scary global, the globalist, communist, bug-eating agenda, right? And how they're going to shut you off, as he said, if you don't get the mRNA vaccine. And what that would feel like if I actually bought into it. And that is scary. And I've met people who genuinely believe these things, and it's part of why I care so much about pulling people out of that, because you realize their life is so much more anxious and so much more angry about the world. And what bothers me is we have things to be angry about that actually are going on. We have real issues in the country and in the world that we should be spending our time and energy focusing on. But a whole block of our country is trying to stop the mythical communism that's taking over in America. And when you're fighting something that doesn't exist, you're not fighting something that does exist, right? You're wasting time doing nothing, pretty much, worrying about nothing when we could be uniting around something, as simple as that sounds. And so I think sometimes I would assume that someone like myself, who's on the left, who's progressive, would, under Donald Trump Jr.'s definition of the globalist, would fall into that just because I'm not a right-winger. And my response whenever I hear, either in my personal life or just covering stuff like this, that type of conspiracy, I wish I could respond to them, and sometimes I do if it's in my personal life. I just want to give you health care. I just want to make sure that the top, the tip top of our economic ladder doesn't have all of the power in the country, and that you get a fair wage and are able to negotiate fair conditions at your job, and that our criminal justice system, our judicial process treats people fairly, that we can have a reasonable push for equality in the country, and all these different things, all these different areas that exist that are real things we could be pushing for. That's it. There's not some horrible, devious plot that much of the left is pushing for. It's stuff like that. And we want to invest in public education so individuals have a better shot in life. And we could go on, but we can't actually, because instead we have to first explain why there's not a globalist plot to push communism going on. And it's really sad to see, because I really do think about it like that. Every minute that's spent worrying about and preparing to fight the communism in the United States, in a country that quite literally has 0 communist politicians in power right now, is a minute we're not spending on actual conversations about actual problems that we have in the United States. And it's really sad to see. Let me know what you think. Luke P. Beasley on Twitter.